But he said the second opinion is a logical opinion.
Mm?
Because female opinion mostly inakwanga emotional. Okay, I feel like we should do this. Why are you feeling?
What
The
is
fact-
emotional about construction? Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SNL Cast. Today I am joined by two fresh faces, and I will let them introduce themselves.
My name is Silas, SNL, and I'm saved.
My name is Gakenya, an SNL member. I'm born again.
Thank you so much for joining us. We all know Jason. He's the vision bearer of this whole thing.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
And I am Michelle, and thank you for joining us again. So today we're talking about sexism and the whole gender war thing, and hopefully we'll be able to shed some light and offer some direction on how we should navigate this whole space. And I want us to start by defining sexism. Okay? So what do you guys think sexism is, or how do you define it?
Mbona nimeangaliwa wa kwanza?
Anyone?
Yaani
Okay,
kila
Silas,
mtu
what do you
ameturn
think?
kichwa.
For me,
Mhm.
I think sexism is something like to go discrimination based on gender.
Mhm.
That's what I wrote. I read from dictionary,
It's okay.
but I'm not sure about it, but because I know some things people they try to define them as discrimination,
Mhm.
but are not discrimination.
Mhm. Ni sawa.
Yeah.
I think tuta iron out. We'll split those hairs as we continue.
Okay.
So I think for me, sexism means like discrimination or profiling people, whether male or female, according to, say, responsibilities that they are supposed to do.
Mhm.
The word there to underline is supposed to, along gender lines.
Mhm. Bwana Jason?
Unaona
Yes.
kitu yenye nani amesema?
Mhm.
Gax.
Iyo.
Hiyo.
Yeah.
Sawa. Okay. So the first question is, have any of you ever experienced discrimination based
Oh,
on your
yes.
gender? Have you ever
Oh,
been treated
yes.
differently, or
Oh,
been
yes.
denied anything,
Even maybe
or been looked
maybe
down on? Mhm.
before,
Mhm.
like, could you tell us what sexism is?
Okay, so the definition that I found, thank you, is sexism is a form of discrimination or prejudice based on a person's sex or gender. It involves treating individuals differently and often negatively, and making judgments about their abilities and qualities or worth based solely on their gender. So it says it can manifest in various ways, including beliefs, attitudes, actions, systemic biases that perpetuate gender-based iniquities. Okay, so we're good.
Yeah.
We have okay. So, have any of you ever faced any kind of discrimination or condescension or any nuances? Yes, Jason.
So, kulikuwa na hii time moja, nilikuwa nimetoka town, nilikuwa naenda Buru. So, kawaida ya matatu za Buru, they are very, like, those drivers they're the most gentlemanly gentlemen I've seen. Like, say, they know how to treat a lady. So, watapunguza speed ya 3 whenever it's a shori to a stop. Shori atapanda, akae chini, asonge. Kama ni boys, unadandia 3 na unadondoka. Buda 3 inakusimamia kaa nani? Na
Na wewe ni
uko na
mwanaume.
haraka.
Hata ukialight,
Si unatafuta doka vile mimi natafuta do.
Mhm.
Haraka panda
Hata to your
katunaenda. Unadondoka kaa imeishia. Haraka ni ya nini?
I've actually seen that.
So yeah.
That's okay. That's a good one.
We ni mtu wa kwanza nimesikia mwanaume umekuwa discriminated.
Wanaume wako discriminated.
Juu hii inakuanga tu based tu umefanya ni ya madem, lakini iko tu hivyo. Ujipate pia ka watch ball, unaulizanga buda, we ni mwanaume. Unaona? hatuwatch futa. Wanashangaa sana, wewe ni mtu aina gani? Juu by the way, wasiokuwa discriminated. Tuseme kama dem, sana tuseme in terms of appearance, dem ameweka dread. Apatane na karao, huyo hawezi chukuliwa
mrembo.
kama jangili. Lakini wewe msio uko na dread, wewe ni mkora.
Wacha hata hivyo, mi hata niko na hizi, nimeshuka nywele hata si dread. Buda mi naulizwanga ras.
Lazima
rasiwe. Ni lazima ujitetee fiti.
Ndio utoke kwa noma.
I think even me, I've experienced discrimination a lot in a lot of places. Come on, like maybe in the workplace where the space where I work is very male dominated. It's construction. So you find that when you're in the site, like people don't take you seriously as a woman. Like your colleague, literally I've experienced this. You might be in a site meeting and you're saying this is what we should do, but someone will tell you, bring someone else from your office. But the thing is, that person from your office, if you bring a fellow female, they will still be like, no, we need to seek a second opinion. So even the guys at that table will tell you what you need to do for your company. And you guys are the specialists there. Or especially in that space, I've experienced discrimination a lot.
But you said the second opinion is a logical opinion. Because female opinion mostly inakwanga emotional. Okay, I feel like we should do this. Why are you feeling?
What is emotional about construction?
The fact that you can't even
I feel like it would look nice when we put this stone like this. Why are you feeling something about a stone? So just build it.
But the fact that you actually use the word feel does not mean what you're saying necessarily actually comes from an emotional point of view. That's the first thing.
You feel emotions, Ama, do you think emotions?
You feel, everyone feels emotions. No one thinks, even the guys.
I'm just saying.
People use it interchangeably with the word think. One of them, I think we should do this and this and this. Someone might say, I feel like we should do this and this. It's not necessarily...
Then that's a grammar problem.
It's a
we are talking scientifically.
But I think that guy was trying to help you because you can't carry a bag of cement.
Exactly.
And I'm not discriminating you. Huwezi beba simiti.
Utavunjika mgongo bwana.
No, the thing I'm saying is, for instance, we are say in maybe a meeting or something, or even outside the workplace. You understand? And I'm telling you, we should go about this issue like this and like this, because this and this are the facts, or this and this are the consequences of doing such and such a thing. But just because it's coming from a woman, you think, no, it's not valid. Let me get a male opinion. You understand? Yeah.
I hear you, because mine is much more mild, but it was the first time I felt like it I experienced rather like in your face type discrimination because you're a woman. A friend and I had gone to get his phone. No, we'd gone to get his phone fixed. Amepeleka simu yake kwa fundi.
Umesema nimesikia kids.
Oh no, his.
You are going to get kids.
And so unajua tu ile kubagain ya kawaida ya si pesa hiyo nini. So he asked me, Ama, what do you think? Do you think it's a fair price? And the fundi was like, usiulize mwanamke swali kama hiyo. Anajua nini kuhusu hizi vitu. I was like, haya. Wow. In this, there are still people who think I cannot comprehend because it has wires and data heads. So I can't understand what
ilikuwa bei ya nini?
Ilikuwa ni speaker ya simu ilikuwa imeharibika ikatengenezwa.
To some extent I understand the guy. Because honestly, ni mara ngapi dem amepeleka simu ifiksiwe na amegongwa?
Wow.
No, to be very honest.
How many
ni mara ngapi madem, they've taken their phone to be fixed by a fundi, and they've been charged more than the realistic price.
And I think that's what for me I'm saying is that can be true. That's true. There are people wenye honestly wanagongwa because also there's the stereotype of madem vitu za wires and whatnot, they're really not good at it. And to be honest, that's what is happening. You understand? Like there are people who probably they're even not aware and unaweza gongwa because of that. But now the problem comes in when you just simply think that because this person is just a woman, they cannot know. It's like you saying, I cannot be treated by a male nurse just because he's a male nurse and me, I'm used to female nurses. The thing is, you've just seen that person and you've said, you know what, they don't even know what they're doing just because they're a man. When you go to a triage and you're seeing a male nurse, you're like, I need a female nurse because nurses are women, they're not men. What are you doing in this hospital? That's when it becomes a problem. Yeah.
When you dismiss my expertise based on my gender.
Yeah.
I think that becomes... What you've said, though, is true. It's the same thing with women taking their cars to the mechanic. They are much more likely to get conned or ripped off.
Very badly.
So now, from that point, do we think... Okay, I've noticed that these discriminations are based on stereotypes. That there's a general stereotype that women are not expected to be knowledgeable about electrical/engineering/ any kind of manual labor type thing where hizo ni kazi za wanaume, and then men are expected or allowed to be ignorant about more feminine duties. So from that point, is it a problem of nature versus is it a nurturing problem? Because growing up, if your father owns a car and he's fixing it, he's more likely to ask your brother to come help him replace the tire than he is to ask you. So naturally, you grow up being more ignorant of things to do with cars and what needs fixing. And so that makes you more susceptible to being ripped off when you take your car to the mechanic, which is why you find most women, you want your brother, your father, your uncle, your cousin, it's a male, someone there with you when you take your car to the mechanic. So what are some of the stereotypes that we think perpetuate this sexism, for example?
For me, naweza sema hivi. So in terms of umeuliza if it's nature or nurture.
Mm-hmm.
I think fathers, they spend a lot of time with their boys.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they do manual works, zile zenye, tuseme kama ni kwenda garage, most probably wewe and your mom mtabaki home. But him and your brother, wataenda sasa kwa garage, and then your big brother and your sibling, your brother ako, ni atu atakuwa anaona it's happening in the garage. So most probably, wanajuanga sa ile dem, ameenda garage. Anamse, anajua hizi vitu. Sa lazima hapo anatekea advantage. So hapo nature ina work hapo. And then, by nature, the fact that Bible says, from the Genesis, the fall of man, the responsibilities, the manual works, they were all given to men. All responsibilities. Men were taught they will toil the land and they will sweat. Sinaona? So ladies, mi sijui kama hizi kazi ngumu hazikuwa zenu from the nature and from nurture. So as a father, he has the responsibility to nurture his son, to make sure that every manual works in terms of cars, nini, building, tu atabeba tu boy. Dem tu we tu jifunze kufanya stuff za hao, vitu kama hizo. Vitu kama hizo. And hizi kazi zingine manyo garage, niseme hiyo ni boys tu atafunzo.
Alafu, honestly speaking, we men are very much associated to driving. So now it's very normal to see a man driving. When you grow up as a boy, you get to a place where you want to move to your own place, buy your own car. Alafu sasa uanze sasa kufikiria maisha. That is a typical man's dream. Your own house, your own car. Alafu sasa familia baadaye. Women look for family first. Typically. So now, as a guy who recently started driving, I will be more naturally attracted to a shorty who is actually reversing a car very well. because kusema ukweli,
Because it's not expected
it's
that
not
women are
expected.
that good at driving.
Honestly, it is not expected for a shorty to drive a car, and let alone drive a car nicely. Like udem ana reverse gari, reverse park, kwa parallel parking, vizuri. I would want to talk to that girl. I would
But
want
if you saw a
to-
guy doing the same thing, itakuwa tu zile za
hiyo ni
sasa
ka-
boss
hiyo ni
endelea na
kawaida,
life.
because wewe umegrow kijua utafika mahali utakuna drive, so it's very natural for you. For a girl, it's not natural for a girl to start driving before looking for a family, before looking for some sort of financial, emotional security. Are you getting what I'm saying?
I think I get what you're saying. The thing is, for me, it's also your background, because there are chicks who they have grown up, maybe their dad was a mechanic, or there was an environment where they just grew up with cars, or their dad was a safari rally driver, and you will be, such chicks will be more inclined to cars, what you would think is like, it's not maybe a woman's thing, or even like guys, there are guys who are very interested in, say, fashion for all genders, women, men, and people would be like, that's not masculine. But I think it also just depends on your upbringing, the kind of background you grew up in. That's what shapes how you view roles in the world, and even your priorities in terms of whether it's family first. Because there are guys who their sole purpose when they're out of school is to just get a family. You'll figure the finances in the family. So I can't say it's like you just grow up and naturally. It's a lot of the environment also you grew up in. There's also the part of, yes, the nurturing part depends on what you are told by your parents growing up. But I also think it's also largely just influenced by the environment.
And I think for a chick, naweza pata ana drive gari na ana toolbox kwa hiyo gari, unaona?
Manze,
Saa
kitu
alafu-
kidogo tu hivi.
alafu saa kitu kidogo
Babe.
anaenda kutafuta mtu wa garage. Ni aje hata utagongo. Hiyo sasa ni nature. Alafu msee akidrive gari yake ako na toolbox. Unless your problem ikuwe very technical, inahitaji technician. Hapo sasa ndio anaenda garage. Yeah.
Acha tu niulize swali practical. Gari kichomeka utadu?
Ikichomeka
Atapiga nduru.
Sasa tu hujaifikiria gari inaweza chomeka.
inachomekeaje kwanza? Acha nikwambie.
Exactly.
We are very proactive people. Unaona? You try to make sure your car is in perfect condition before you leave. See, the fact that I know that I wouldn't be able to fix this car if anything goes wrong makes me want to make sure my car is okay
So
at
how
all
are you going
times.
to make sure if you don't know where the problem can occur?
See, kuna kwanga na servicing na vitu kama hizo.
Vitu zinaweza haribika.
Okay.
Vitu zioharibika.
Okay.
So it's a natural thing for some like habits and activities to be mostly inclined to the male gender, and vitu za nyumba za logistics, taking care of things, ma errands hapa na
I
pale,
think
it's a
that
female thing.
is a natural thing. It's more of how you were raised than it is your gender instincts, your masculine instinct or so. What I would attribute to your instinct as a man is when it comes to being protective over things, being territorial over things, but at knowing that I need a toolbox in my car, it's because you've been taught that things can go wrong in a car, and when these are things that you can fix on your own, these are things that you can't fix on your own.
No, but some things you're not taught. Having the instinct to be wise and ready to fix a problem is not something that you're taught. It's not
Let me
something
tell
that
you
unaambiwa mahali
why.
ati
Let me show you
kaanga tu
how.
rada kitu inaweza chomeka.
Can a
Can
small boy
Hey.
do that?
I show you how
small
things
Let me
are
tell
do
you.
that?
A very practical example of my young brother. Tulikuwa tumeka kwa nyumba and then ndo ikapasuka hapo down, ndo ilipasuka. Mandem alienda akachukua kijiko akeka kwa gas. Juu alikuwa ashaiona watu wachomelea vile ufanyanga vitu. Akachukua kijiko akeka kwa gas, ikahit, akachomelea hiyo nini ndo. hakuambiwa na msee, hakuonyeshwa na msee. Instinctively aliona shida na akataka kusolve shida.
Can I
How
tell you
old
why?
is your brother?
My brother right now is in Form 2, but he did that like when he was in class 8, class 7.
Yeah, but what I'm asking, can a boy who's 3 years, because it's instinctively, it's supposed to be in you, can a 3-year-old do that?
You see now how a 3-year-old develops that instinct is boys are naturally explorers. They explore things. Utaona kijana wa 3 years anaenda anaangalia hii ni moto. Atachomeka mara ya kwanza ajue nikionanga kitu kai nitachomeka. But atajua aje atachomeka.
I think
Jua alienda kwa hiyo mo?
the reason why is because the responsibilities that are given to men versus women are given at a very young age. Like, let me give you an example. When my younger brother was born, I have an older brother, but the responsibility to take care of my younger brother was mine. Even though I was the younger one, I was the one who was mostly tasked to make sure that he is okay, he is clean, he's, just take care of him. Not my older brother, me. Why? Because I'm the girl. So from the age of 6, 7, I'm already being taught how to nurture, how to take care of. My older brother, when something, when with young boys, if something goes wrong, if you take your toy to your father and it's broken, he'll fix it there with you. He'll sit down with you and fix it with you. Or like you're more exposed, like he said, to the environment of fixing things. And it's true, boys are very adventurous. But women are adventurous as well. I think what differs is the areas in which you're allowed to be adventurous. Unaona? As a boy, if you go out and you come back full of mud, itakuwa tu aki watoto, aki vijana, utaingia tu uoshwe. Msichana ingia kwa nyumba kika the same thing ataulizwa, na wewe ni msichana, kutakuwa na hiyo added statement. Wewe ni mchafu, lakini unajichafuaje kama kijana? Unaona? You start being taught very early that there's a certain way a woman is supposed to carry themselves. And those limitations, they affect how far you can explore. Wewe unaenda uruke ndani ya mtaro sijui fanya nini alafu rudi kinuka matope, ni vijana. Mimi kama dem nikijaribu kuexplore that far, nirudi na the same level of that, kutakuwa na a different level of consequence, I think.